this coming Monday, or Sunday if you are a Rooster Teeth first member, the 7th episode of the 8th season celebrating the 10th year of the hit YouTube Versus series Death Battle will drop, featuring a clash between two modern cartoon protagonists in the form of Steven Universe and Star Butterfly. And seeing as I knocked it out of the park with my last prediction, which you can watch by clicking the block in the upper right hand corner, I will once again be taking a crack at a prediction. Now, I will admit that I have seen all of Steven Universe, the series, not the character, and very little of Star Butterfly versus the Forces of Evil. So my bias is pretty obvious. But nonetheless, let's take a look at what each character can bring to the table. Before we continue, I do want to say that I did rush some of these calculations in order to get this video out because I had some other videos in place of it, but I felt like this episode would be worth my time, seeing as I did a bunch of Steven Universe videos last summer. With that in mind, let's analyze Star Butterfly. For the purposes of our analysis, I'm going to use assorted feats across her series to determine her speed, strength, durability, as well as energy output. After that, we will stack her stats against Steven's, which will be the same stats we determined in my Summer of Steven. Star is able to see and avoid her own spells. Assuming these spells travel the speed of light, around 300 meters per second, and assuming that the last reflection is 7 meters away from Star, she would have had to have moved within 23 nanoseconds. Seeing as she moves about a foot, or a third of a meter, she would be traveling at roughly 48% the speed of light. As for her strength, we can look at both a lifting and striking feat. For one, she casually carried a Carlos encased in crystal. Assuming this is something akin to turquoise, we can scale the cylindrical gem to be worth a volume of roughly 1.62 cubic meters. At a density of 2,780 kilograms per cubic meter, this would mean Star is lifting around 4,500 kilograms, or just short of 10,000 pounds. As for non-lifting feat, Star could use spells without her wand. One time, she froze the air around a helicopter. Based on the length of a helicopter blade, about 19 feet, aka 5.79 meters, we can find the total volume of air affected by said spell to be around 1,787 cubic meters. Using this equation for the energy required to change the temperature of an object, we can determine that the simple fist raise was worth nearly 2,500 tons of TNT. But what about her durability? The preview release for Star included her explosion endurance of Butterfly Castle. Assuming this tower was the one being blown up, we can use the average dimensions of a billboard to measure the tower. A bunch of tedious math later, and this explosion is worth 650 tons of TNT. But there is another explosive attack Star can do in battle that is worth talking about. When she was kidnapped by a weird dragon man thing, she had to whisper to her wand and make it blow up the castle they were in. Taking Star's height of 1.6 meters and using it to measure other things in the room, we can then find the total volume of the castle to be roughly 6,170 cubic meters. This would mean the explosion of her wand is worth 370 tons of TNT. Now, taking all of those feats into account, let's see how they stack up against Steven's, and oh my god, it's not even close. Now, obviously, I could very well have overlooked more impressive feats from other spells that Star has used, but I think Steven winning is a very high possibility. Assuming her spells travel the speed of light was already a generous assumption to make, but her spells are actually something important to talk about. While Steven can alter his bubble and shield to an extent, Star has such a versatile amount of spells that they very well could keep Steven on his toes, even if they wouldn't be killing blows. Also, Star has transformation spells, but seeing as Steven can alter his own body by himself, I don't believe these would be as important as if she was fighting someone else. Altogether, even if I missed higher feats that would make Star something akin to town level or even city level explosiveness, Steven has fought for longer, fought tougher opponents, and has enough of his own tricks to beat Star Butterfly. But I guess you and I will find out on Sunday or Monday if you don't pay the monthly subscriptions for Rooster Teeth first. But with all that out of the way, I will see you guys in the next couple weeks. Don't worry, we will eventually do the MCU Thanos video, I promise. There are just a couple other videos that we have to do beforehand, just so that the Thanos video isn't full of like 2-minute long segments where I'm just talking about, oh, this thing is this big and that thing is that big and blah, blah, blah. Don't worry, we're getting there. Steven Schultz, you do not have to comment about it. I'm gonna do it, I promise. I'll see you guys next Friday.